Hi, I'm Chris Thompson, and today I'm talking about how Jeffrey Epstein made his fortune and the scandalous ways he used it to wield influence over some of the world's most powerful people. Let's get into it. For years, the name Jeffrey Epstein has been synonymous with wealth, influence, and some pretty disturbing and effed up stories. But how exactly did Jeffrey Epstein make his fortune? And what did he spend his considerable wealth on? These questions have resurfaced recently with particular intensity as the Trump administration has now claimed that it has not found a client list for Jeffrey Epstein, contrary to what their own Attorney General and the head of FBI claimed in interviews. The Trump administration is now refusing to release any other additional files that it may or may not have on Jeffrey Epstein. This stance is causing significant friction within President Donald Trump's own MAGA movement, and his supporters are beginning to voice their discontent, feeling that promises to uncover the full truth are not being kept. So how exactly did Jeffrey Epstein make his fortune? Jeffrey Epstein's financial career began modestly, working at Bear Stearns in the 1970s as an options trader. He quickly demonstrated an acumen for finance, particularly in advising wealthy individuals on tax strategies. In 1982, Jeffrey Epstein founded his own investment firm called Epstein Co, later renamed Financial Trust Company, which he claimed exclusively served billionaires. The precise nature of his business operations remain largely shrouded in secrecy, but reports have indicated that he managed assets and provided financial, tax, and estate planning services for ultra-high net worth individuals. One publicly identified client was Leslie Wexner, the founder of L Brands, which owns Victoria's Secret. Jeffrey Epstein's relationship with Leslie Wexner was particularly lucrative, with Epstein reportedly making over $200 million from his work with her over a decade. He also reportedly received $158 million from Leon Black, the co-founder of the Apollo Global Management, for financial advice that he provided them. In the mid-1990s, Jeffrey Epstein moved his company, Financial Trust Company, to the U.S. Virgin Islands, likely for tax advantages, but also probably for the nice weather. But let's be honest for a minute. Can you really get upset at anyone that wants to move to the Caribbean? I know I do. Jeffrey Epstein engaged in various investments, including hedge funds and startups, and chaired an offshore company called Liquid Funding Limited, which was partially owned by Bear Stearns and dealt in complex financial products like mortgage-backed securities. Remember them? Yeah, they didn't work out too well. If you're starting to get the feeling that Jeffrey Epstein was always somehow mixed up with shady people and business dealings, then you're starting to catch on. At the time of his death in August of 2019, Jeffrey Epstein's net worth was estimated to be between $560 and $630 million. His assets included a portfolio of lavish properties spread out around the world, including a palatial townhouse on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, valued at over $50 million, a mansion in Palm Springs, Florida, worth about $12 million, and a ranch in New Mexico, valued at just over $17 million. That's not even to mention the two private islands he owned in the Caribbean named Great St. James and Little St. James, which were collectively valued at $86 million following his death. And get this, those islands included a private jet, because of course they did. Beyond the mansions and private islands and private jets, Jeffrey Epstein spent a significant amount of money on his side hustle or hobby of running an international sex trafficking operation of underage girls marketed to some of the wealthiest and most famous men in the world. Jeffrey Epstein accumulated a fortune estimated between $560 and $630 million during his lifetime, and donated some of his fortune to scientific research and education through the Jeffrey Epstein 5 Foundation, where he gifted $30 million to Harvard University for a program focused on the evolutionary dynamics. But nothing can erase the pain and suffering that Jeffrey Epstein caused the victims of the international sex trafficking operation he ran and the profit he made from his business ventures. What a sicko. There literally is only one word that comes to mind when I hear the name Jeffrey Epstein. Not a business leader or philanthropist, but just plain old sicko. Thanks for listening to my hot take about how Jeffrey Epstein made his fortune and how much of a creep he was. If you haven't already, smash that like button and consider doing me a solid and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified next time I drop a hot take. Thanks.